A very good morning to everyone. Today we are going to discuss, yesterday we were discussing the questions up to 7 of this exercise 1D, right? And today, Krishna, take your seat. Fine, Nirav. Today we are going to discuss question 8th, 9th and 10th. Yesterday I have told you that these questions will discuss by today and these are word problem questions. Okay, the questions that we have discussed yesterday, have you done all the questions? I have given 2 or 3 questions I think yesterday for the practice purpose. Okay, I hope you all are doing very good, Hardik. Right, so today in the morning you got the PDF. Yesterday I think you got the PDF and videos. Okay, check your answers with the PDF, match it properly. Okay, and if still any doubt will be left, please ask me after the class. Right, so question 8 is, the area of rectangle is given, okay, and its breadth is given, and find out the length of the rectangle. Okay, so what is given? Area of rectangle is given. Area of rectangle is given, that is 610 meter square. This is the area of rectangle which is given in the question. Okay. After that, what else is given? That is breadth is given. Breadth of rectangle is given. That is equals to 16 2/3 meter. This is given in the mixed fraction. Okay. First of all, convert into the fraction. 16 threes are how much? Quickly. Table should be there on your tips. 16 threes are everyone. That is, yes, 48. 48 plus 2, that is 48 plus 2 divided by 3. Yes, very good. That is equals to 50/3 meter. Whenever the mixed fraction is given, convert into the fraction. Okay, whether it's proper or improper fraction. Okay, Harshit, sit properly. Okay, after that they're saying find out the length of rectangle. Length is not given, that you have to find out. Okay, so according to the question, there is a formula to find out the area of rectangle. Right, that is equals to length multiplied by breadth. Area of rectangle always equals to length multiplied by breadth. Okay, so area of rectangle value is 610 is equals to length is not given, so let's suppose length is x. Okay, multiplied by breadth is 50 divided by 3. Okay, got it? Okay, now x will be here only, the 610 will be here, and this will go that side in the division. Okay, this is here in the form of multiplication. When I shift that side, it will go in division. 50 divided by 3. Okay, now I'm going to remove this division sign. I'll put here multiply sign, and the term will be reciprocal. This term will be reciprocal. 3/50. Okay, is equal to x. Now 0 and 0 will get cancelled. Anything else? No. So 61 into 3, that is equals to 183 divided by 5 meter. This is your length. So any doubt in this question? Everyone? Any doubt is there? Jasmine, are you getting all the points? Alright, so I'm repeating this question once again. Area of rectangle is given. Okay, area always be there in meter square. Okay, breadth of rectangle is given. It is given in mixed fraction. Convert into the fraction. Okay, now you are having 2 values. One is area, one is length. Sorry, one is breadth. Find out the length. Length you have to find out. So put the area of rectangle first of all. Okay, by implementing this formula, you can able to find out the length. Okay, so area of rectangle is equals to length multiplied by breadth. Just put the values of area and the breadth. Length will be x. Okay, here it is in multiplication. When I shift this to here, this side, it will go in division. Okay, division sign will become. When I remove this division sign, you know that we are using multiply sign. Okay, and when we'll place multiply sign, the next term will be reciprocal. Now cancel the terms, whichever you can cancel, and take out the answer of your length. Got it? Okay, so this is question 8, area of rectangle. Okay, now next question is question 9. No need to write anything, just understand the question. If you will face any doubt, ask me at that time. Right, 9th question is a ribbon 61 1/4 meter long. Okay, length of ribbon is given. Long means length is given. Length of ribbon is given. Again, it is given in mixed fraction. 61 1/4 meter. Now convert into the fraction. 61 into 4, how much? 244. Okay, very good, Hardik. 244 plus 1, that is 245 divided by 4 meter. So this is the length of the ribbon. Okay, after that just saying that it has cut, the ribbon has cut, it has cut into 35 pieces. Into 35 pieces. This is the complete length of ribbon. Okay, I'm having a ribbon. This is complete length of ribbon. Okay, they're saying that we have cut this ribbon into 35 pieces. This is first piece. Okay, this is second piece. This is third piece. In this way, there are 35 pieces. Now they're saying that find out the length of every piece, each piece. Okay, find out the length of each piece. If it has cut into equal 35 pieces, you have to find out this length of each piece. Swayam, a class is going on. Just look here and be active in the class. I'll ask some question right now. Okay. Now this is the length of complete length of a ribbon, and it has cut into 35 pieces. Now please tell me how I can find out the length of each piece. Length of each piece, how I can find out. Please tell me quickly. Very good. Mishika, very good. Neerav, right. Chaitanya, Hardik, very good. Lakshita, Anshul, very good. Swayam also right. Yes, Kangana, right. Everyone. Ashima, right. Very good. Kirti, give me answer quickly. How we can find out? Abudya, give me answer. Rakshit, give me answer. How we can find out the length of each piece? If total length is given and number of pieces are given, how we can find out? Kanna, very good. Tanvi, right. Aniket, what? Give me the complete answer. Rakshit, very good. It's absolutely correct. Manik, please adjust your camera properly. Abudya, right. Very good. So we will divide this complete length with 35. Okay, and then we can take out the length of each piece. It's very easy. Okay. So you can write in this way. According to the question, you have to divide this 245 divided by 4. This complete length with 35, and you can able to find out your x. X is your length of each piece. Okay. Now 245 divided by 4. This 35 means it is 35 upon 1. Yesterday also I told you, whenever there is single term, it means there is a 1 in the denominator always. Okay, now I am going to remove this division sign. I'll place a multiply sign. So this term will be reciprocal. It is 1 upon 35 is equal to x. Okay, so I'm going to cancel on 5 table. 5 sevens are, 5 fours are, and 5 nines are. 7 ones are and 7 sevens are. Alright, so it is equals to 7 upon 4. 7 upon 4 is equal to x, or you can say that length of each piece is equals to 7 upon 4 meter. That is your answer. Alright, any doubt anyone is having? Brahmjot, understood? Anshuman, it's blossom. Anshuman, awesome. It's clear to everyone? Alright. Just wait, Nirav. What you are saying? Yeah, Nirav, you can divide 7 upon 4 also. You can take out your answer in decimals also. But again, I am telling you, this chapter is based upon rational numbers. So rational number means you have to take out your answer in the form of fractions. Okay? Vikrant, Chima. This is your first lecture, Vikrant. Be active in the class. Sit properly. Be attentive in the class. Anyone else having doubt in the class? Anshuman, 8 Blossom. Anshuman, you can convert this into mixed fraction also. Yes. You can convert this fraction into mixed fraction also. Yes. Tushika, which step? Tell me which step you were saying. These are the steps only. Okay. So you can take out, see, after this you can write down that x is equals to 7 upon 4, or you can write that length of each piece is equal to 7 upon 4 meter. Right? In this way also you can write. This way also or in this way also. Answer will be right. So whenever a length of anything is given to you, length of anything, okay, and they are saying that it has cut or it has split into these many parts, into these many pieces, and find out the length of each piece. Find out the length of each piece. So this is the formula only. You have divided total length with the number of pieces. Okay, whenever you find out the length of each piece or each part, each part in the paper, I'll change the statement. Okay, concept will be same. I'll change the statement. Okay, so if the question is find out the length of each part or each piece, you have to divide the total length with the number of pieces or number of parts. That's it. This is a concept only. This is a formula only. Okay, so you can attempt any question which is given in this form. Fine. Dharya, sit properly. Okay, now let's last is 10th question. Last question is your 10th question. Okay, so this is cost of 1/2 kg of sugar. Okay, cost of how much? Quantity of sugar is given. First of all, tell me, this is not given in the statement. Quantity of sugar is not given in the statement. Okay, I have written this from the, you have to read out the statement and you have to understand what is given. One cost is given and one quantity is given. Please tell me what is the quantity of sugar given in the statement. How much it's given? Vikrant, be active in the class. And Saksham of Florence section, be active in the class. How much quantity of sugar is given in the question? Quickly. Very good, Dharya. Vikrant, give me the answer quickly. And Saksham, give me the answer. How much is the quantity of sugar given in the question? Read out the statement carefully. Swayam, right. Krishna, very good. Ankit, very good. Lakshita, right. Mishika, correct. So quantity of sugar is given, that is 1/2 kg. Okay, you have to write the statement properly. You can't write in this way, cost of this much sugar is this. You can't write in the same way. Okay, you have to make the statements by on. Okay, Manik, no worries. So this is the quantity of sugar given. So again change into the fraction 2 to the 4 plus 5. That is 5/2 kg. So this is the quantity of sugar. Now this thing cost of this much sugar. Cost of 1/2 kg of sugar is given, that is rupees 58 3/4. Convert this fraction into the mixed fraction into the fraction quickly. 58 3/4. Convert into the fraction. Jasmine, very good. Very good. Hardik, absolutely correct. Krishna, correct. Yes, yes, very good. Swayam, right. Yes, Chaitanya, right. So you have to convert into the fraction, that is equals to 235 divided by 4. Okay, so this is in rupees. Okay, now please understand the concept. Okay, this is a quantity of sugar, 2.5 kg. 2.5 kg means 5 by 2 kg. And cost of 2.5 kg sugar is this much rupees. They are saying that find out the cost of 1 kg of sugar. 1 kg. Okay, so how we can find out? What you will do? You have to multiply these two fraction, or you have to divide these two fraction quickly. Manvi, very good. Lakshita, Swayam, just wait. Nirav, I'm saying you have to find out cost of 1 kg of sugar. Okay, this you have to find out. This is the cost of 2.5 kg of sugar. So how we can find out cost of 1 kg of sugar? Either we have to divide these two fraction or we have to multiply. I'm asking this. Tushika, Abudya, Mishika, Rasham, Chaitanya, Anshpreet, Dharya, very good. Absolutely correct. Nirav, Ashima, right. Jaydeep, right. Cover, right. Manik, correct. Very good. Gurleen, no. Your answer is wrong. Ankit, Shagun, Anshul, Ashima, Lavdora. Very good. Right. Correct. So we will divide these two fractions. Okay. So this is the bigger fraction, that is 235 divided by 4. This is the cost. Okay. So we will divide this cost with the number of kg, that is 5 by 2. Right? Up to here is clear? I'm going to erase this portion. So this is 235 divided by 4. I'm going to change this division sign into multiply, and the next term will go in inverse. 5 by 2 is 2 upon 5. It's correct to everyone? Okay? Alright. Now cancel it. 5 ones are 5, 5 fours are 20, and 5 sevens are 35. 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. That's it? Yeah. So it is equals to 47 divided by 2. Okay? So you can say that this is your cost of 1 kg of sugar. This is the answer. 47 divided by 2. You can change into the mixed fraction also, or up to here also answer is correct. Very good, Krishna. Dhairya, right. Neera, very good. Chaitanya, right. Okay. Don't change into the decimals. It is up to here also, it's fine. Okay. Alright. Those who are sitting in the class whose cameras are not working, again it's the last instruction. Please switch on the camera. Arush, Jaskaran, Jaskirat, Konark, Parth, Pratham, Yuvraj, Namasyu, switch on the camera quickly. Alright, so this is your exercise 1D up to 10. We have discussed all the question in the class. Okay, today I am not giving any question from this exercise. If you have not done yesterday's homework, please do it by today. Complete it by today. Okay, today I am going to start the next concept, that is last concept of this chapter. Alright, that is based upon representation. First of all, we'll discuss how we can representation of rational numbers on number line. In this concept, you have to understand some important points. Okay. Okay. All right. Those who have started this exercise, it's very good. Neera, fine. Arish, fine. Okay. Now, how we can represent the rational numbers? Rational numbers are, suppose I'll ask you how you can represent 0 on the number line. 0 will be the center point of the number line. Okay. First of all, I will tell you, this is the center point of the number line. Okay. This is the positive side. This is the positive side. the negative side. Okay, here we used to write the positive values, here we used to write the negative values. Okay, now positive value, if I'll ask you, can you tell me where 1 will locate? Yes, 1 will not come here, 1 will come here. 1, 2, 3, 4 up to infinity. All these values will come on the right hand side. Now if I'll ask you where minus 2 will come, here is minus 1, here will be minus 2. Okay, then minus 3, minus 4. These are the simple numbers. Okay, positive and negative and 0. So these all are integers. Okay, I hope everyone knows this thing that these all are integers. Integers are all the positive numbers, all the negative numbers including 0 are known as integers. Okay, but our chapter is rational numbers. So rational numbers are always in the form of fraction. In the form of fraction, like you have to locate 2 by 3 in the number line. You have to locate 4 by 5 in the number line. You have to locate minus 7 upon 6 on the number line. Okay, these will be the questions. How you can locate these points, these rational numbers on the number line. Okay, so let's discuss how we can locate. Suppose I'm having two rational numbers. One is 3 upon 5. Okay, and one number is minus 11 upon 8. I'm having these two numbers, these two rational numbers. Okay, I'm going to tell you one by one. This is the number line for this and this is the number line for second question. Right, so first of all you have to check it out. Your fraction is proper or improper. Proper or improper fraction. Improper fraction. Anyone can tell me that what is the meaning of proper fraction? What is the meaning of proper fraction? I'll call the names. Manvi, very good. Nikhil Sandhu and Kanav. Please give me the answer that what are the proper fraction. Manik, proper, it's wrong. Aniket, you have to tell me what is the meaning of proper fraction. Very good, Manvi. Let me ask. Just wait, just wait. I'm calling some names, okay, and then you have to answer me. Mishika, please tell me.
Good morning, ma'am.
Very good morning, Mishika. Please tell me what is the meaning of proper fraction. Proper.
A fraction when the numerator is less than the denominator.
Very nice. Very good. When the numerator is lesser than the denominator. Very good. Just wait. Okay. Now next student will be okay, Krishna. Now you have to give me answer. What are the improper fraction? Krishna. Krishna, what are the improper fraction? Krishna, 8th awesome. Rasham. Rasham, give me the answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So give me the answer. What is the meaning? Yes, yes, yes.
Ma'am, whose denominator is bigger from the numerator?
Very nice, very nice. Very nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So these are the proper fraction. Proper fraction, in the proper fraction, your denominator will be always greater than the numerator. Right? And here comes to the improper fraction. Improper means like 7 upon 3, where denominator will be lesser than the numerator. Okay, if you will able to check these two things, then you will able to point out these points on the number line. because everything is based upon this concept. If they are proper, then you have to locate, okay, how you have to locate, and if they are improper, again how you have to locate. Okay, now this is the proper fraction. I'm writing here, this is a proper fraction. Okay, when denominator will be bigger than the numerator. So how you have to locate? You can divide this in your rough side. Okay, 3 upon 5. If you will divide this, what will be the answer? Can you give me the answer? If it will come in decimals, what will be the answer? If I'll divide this, what will be the answer? 0.6. Very good. Okay, it will go here 0.6 and 30. Okay, your answer will be 0.6. 0.6. So that means this will be the 0 and it will lie in between 0 and 1. Yes or no? It will lie in between 0 and 1. This 3 by 5, that is 0.6. It will lie in between 0 and 1. Obviously, if it will be 2.6, then it will lie in between 2 and 3. If it will be 4.6, it will lie in between 4 and 5. Okay, right? So the answer of this fraction is 0.6. So it will lie in between 0 and 1. Now, you have to check the denominator. If denominator will be 5, you have to split into 5 fractions. This is the first part, second, third, fourth, and this will be 5. How many fractions are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your 1. Okay, you have to take after 0, you have to take one line, that will be your 1, 2, 3, 4, and where 1 will be there, that will be your 5. Okay, so there are total 5 fractions. 5 is the denominator, so that means there should be 5 fractions. Okay, now comes to the numerator. Numerator is 3. Okay, now third one will be your answer. This is 1. Okay, this is 2. This is 3. This will be your answer. So you can write in this way. You can write in this way. You put an arrow, put a circle on this third part and make an arrow, and that will be your 3 upon 5. This is your answer. Any doubt? Any doubt? Okay. So if this is a proper fraction, you have to divide it and take out your answer, whether it will lie in between 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. Okay. After that, how much is the denominator? You have to split into that many fractions. And whatever is the numerator, that number will be your fraction. If here 4 will be there, 1, 2, 3, 4. This fourth one will be your answer. If here 2 will be there, 1, 2, 2 will be the answer. Here 3 is there, so 1, 2 and third one will be your answer. Got it, this concept? Understood? Fine, Ashima? Yes, fine. Okay. Now, let's move to this fraction. Okay. Now, minus 11 upon 8. Minus is there, so that means you have to go in the negative side. This is a 0, okay, will go into the left hand side. This is the negative value. Now 11 upon 8, this is proper fraction or improper? Everyone has to answer me. Just Karan, sit properly in the class and be active in the class. Yeah, give me the answer. 11 upon 8 will be proper or improper? Very good. Aniket, improper is not there. Improper. Improper. Okay. It is improper or proper fraction. You have to tell me the answer. Please tell me the answer. What else? What is the answer? Very good. Very good. Most of you has given the correct answer because the denominator is lesser than the numerator. Okay. Denominator is lesser than the numerator. So in this case, what you have to do? You have to divide this 11 with the 8. Okay, divide it first of all. 8 ones are 8. Okay, how much is left? 3 is left. Okay, first of all convert into the mixed fraction. Convert into the mixed fraction. Mixed fraction will be, how we can write? This is minus is there in the value. Minus 1 will come here. Okay, 3 will go in the numerator, 8 will come in denominator. You know how we can write the mixed fraction? Everyone knows this thing? Very nice. Okay. So this is minus 1 3 upon 8. Okay. I have converted this into the mixed fraction. So minus 1 3 by 8. It means this value will be greater than minus 1 but lesser than minus 2. Obviously, minus 1 something. Minus 1 point something means this value will be greater than minus 1 but lesser than minus 2. So this will lie in between this fraction. This will lie in between this portion, this part. Right? Now, this is your denominator. Okay? So you have to split this into the 8 fraction, the way we have done in the proper fraction. Okay? Now, I'm going to split into the 8 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. This is the minus 2. Okay. And these are the 8 fractions. Okay. How you can write? After minus 1, this will be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And where this minus 2 will come, that is your 8. So you can see that there are 8 parts. There are 8 parts. Whatever is the denominator, that many parts you have to make. Now, what is the numerator? That is 3. So, 1, 2 and 3. This is your answer. Minus 1, 3 by 8 you can write, or you can directly write minus 11 upon 8. Got it? This thing? Everyone knows this thing? Okay? Are you able to understand? Right? So, in this way, if the fraction is the proper fraction, okay, then you can take out in decimals and see to it where it will lie. Whatever is the denominator, that many parts you have to make. Whatever is the numerator, that number will be your answer. If the fraction will be improper, okay, then you have to convert into the mixed fraction and then see to it in which two values it will lie. Okay, after that, whatever is the denominator, that many portions, that many fractions or that many parts you have to make, and whatever is the numerator, that number will be your answer. Okay, we used to read one more thing. When we are moving on the left hand side, we used to read in this way: minus 1, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Okay, in fractions also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in the right hand side, we used to read in the opposite way: 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, some students are reading in the same manner. They are reading in this way: 1, 2, 3. No, we used to read from left to right. Okay, and here from left to right, and here from right to the left. Okay, understood? Okay, so today we have discussed only how we can represent the rational numbers on the number line. So I'm giving you question number 1 for the homework. Only question 1. Mark question 1 of the exercise 1C. Question number 1. Question number 1, sorry, of 1E. 1E exercise. Question number 1. Quickly mark in the book that you have to solve in the practice notebook only. Okay, how we can represent these 3 fractions into the in the number line. Okay, all right, now let's start. Yesterday we have discussed some squares. Today I'm going to ask you cubes. Okay, cubes from 1 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Today we are discussing cubes. Okay, cube is you have to multiply that number 3 times. Okay, so Hardik, sit straight in the class. Okay, now give me answer, everyone. What will be the cube of 5? Cube of 5 means multiply that number 3 times and give me answer quickly. That should be on your tips. Very good, very good. 125 is the cube of 5. Tell me what is the cube of 7? Cube of 7. Very good. 343. Tomorrow again I'll ask you 1 to 10 squares and 1 to 10 cubes. Again we'll discuss these. Okay. Now tell me the cube of 3. Everyone. Cube of 3. Very good. That is 27. Alright. Tell me the cube of 9. 9. Cube of 9. Up to 1 to 10, it should be there on your tips. Very nice. That is 729. Very good, very good. Now, cube of 4, how much? Cube of 4 is? Very good. That is 64. Now, cube of 8. Cube of 8. Yes, very good, very good. Manvi, it's incorrect answer. It's incomplete. Cover, very good. Very, very good, very good. That is 512. Cube of 6, quickly. Cube of 6 is? Very good, 216. So time is about to over now. Last cube of 10 is? Cube of 10 is 1000. Very good. Very good. Okay. Jaskirat Singh, 8 Florence. Tomorrow I'll ask you every 1 to 10 from you. Okay? Be active in the class. Okay? So today read out these once again, cubes and squares 1 to 10, and do your homework. I've given only one question for the homework. Do it very properly in your practice notebook. Right? Bye-bye and take care all of you.